You guys, welcome to number 4 of the Inter Milan career mode, and to start off this episode we have got our game against PSV in the Champions League. Obviously in the first episode I think we drew against Manchester City 1-1, and in this episode we're going to be playing the other two teams in our group, which is PSG and Valencia. So we basically have to beat PSV both times because they're probably the easiest team out of the four, so I think we need to get a good 3 points at home in this game, so let's go into it now. In the 7th minute here, short corner, Bibiani going through a couple of players here, gets the shot off and it luckily deflects. Keeper doesn't quite make the save and Kondogbia is there to place it into the back of the net to make it 1-0 in the first 10 minutes. A good early start, and especially after us not really performing that well in the last episode, getting an early goal is always important. Then in the 45th minute of the match here, Bibiani again crosses the ball into the box. Nobody actually touches that ball. It just goes in. Nobody touches it, keeper completely misses it, goes through his legs and makes it 2-0 in the game just before half time. A really, weird goal. I don't know if it deflected off any of the PSV players, but the goalkeeper Zoe should have probably done a lot better there. Then we go into the 83rd minute of the match here and we have our own goalkeeping howler. What was Handanovic doing there? It literally came off the post and then he pushed it back into his own net to make it 2-1 there. So going into the last 5 minutes, I just put it on ultra defensive and managed to get the 3 points in the end. So a little bit lucky, a little bit unlucky at the same time, but the 3 points were more than important and keeps our Champions League hopes alive. So into the first league game of the episode, it is against Sampdoria. Pretty good team in the league. They've got some quite interesting players. A lot of players at Sampdoria tend to go to like Juventus and bigger teams like Soriano and a few others. They're just really good. So here's our lineup. The only change we've made is one Jesus at left back. Here's their lineup, Barreto and Soriano. As I was saying, both of them are actually linked with Juventus in real life, as they are very, very good. And it's quite a strong Sampdoria team. So going into the game here, first 2 minutes, Kondogbia on the right hand side, cuts inside, and then just boots it into the back of the net to get his second goal in this episode. And he's been really good. We didn't start him straight at the start of this career mode. We were starting with Medel, but since bringing in Kondogbia, he's had a great influence on the team. Then in the 61st minute of the match here, Mertens getting the rebound there. I think it was Jovetic with the fancy shot that didn't quite pay off. It did deflect off the goalkeeper, but Mertens did put it into the open net and make it 2-0. Then we unfortunately concede here with about a third left of the game. Muriel with the goal to make it 2-1. So into the next game, biggest game of the season probably, it is against Juventus at home. If we could pick up 3 points against such a big team, that'd be absolutely fantastic. So let's go into the lineup for today's game. I don't think we're going to make any changes as we did quite well in the last game. So in the 46th minute of the match here, Kondogbia, lovely ball through for Icardi, and then a wonderful finish from the Argentinian to make it 1-0 just after the half-time whistle. Again, Kondogbia having such a great effect on the team, assisting that goal quite nicely. Beautiful passing play from the right back to the centre mid to the holder midfielder, then up to the striker and into the back of the net to make it 1-0. And that was the only goal of the game. We managed to pull it off. I think we played quite defensive because obviously Pogba, Morata, Cuadrado, really good Juventus team, and we managed to get the 3 points against them, so that's absolutely fantastic. So looking at the table, we're in the top 5 now. That's nice to see. Still 6 points off the top, which isn't too much when you really think about it. Like, we get a couple of wins, Lazio lose a couple, we could be top of the table. It's as simple as that. So into our next Champions League game against Valencia at I'm not too sure what they're stadium. I think that's where Spain actually play their games as well. They do play it at Valencia's home stadium, so it's going to be a nice big occasion. And in the 29th minute of the match here, Perisic does get taken down by the right back, I believe, and we do win a penalty there. And penalties are an interesting thing this year. Like, sometimes you can have a really good penalty, but the keeper just manages to pull it off, and then other times you dive the right way and the keeper doesn't save it. So we do manage to go down this left-hand side and put it into the back of the net there to make it 1-0 in the game in the first third of the match, which is nice to see. Then we go into the 45th minute of the match here. Corner for Parejo, puts it into the back post. Handanovic, I don't know what he's doing. He could have just easily caught that, but he went for the punch, missed it. Feghouli with the goal to equalise just before half-time. Then in the last 12 minutes of the game, Paco Altaca passes it back, bounces off the ground, then Miranda with a really poor clearance passes it straight to Feghouli, and they make it 2-1 in the last 10 minutes, and unfortunately that is how the game does end. A little unfortunate away from home. Could have probably done with the draw in the end, but a little bit of defensive error from myself caused us to concede and to lose all the points from that game, so a little bit of a shame. But we're going to go into our next game against Palmo in the league. It is a bit of an easier game. We should be able to pick up the 3 points quite nicely. If we don't, then it's going to be quite disappointing because they're not exactly the strongest team in the world. I can't even name one off the top of my head. I know they used to have Abdel Hernandez, but obviously now he's at Hull. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see their lineup when we do go into the game. We do bring on Leitch on that right-hand side. And looking at the bottom there is their team. They got Gonzalez, Bolzoni, Rigoni, Mascarella. I'm not too sure who these players are. Giuliardino, I know him. And Vasquez, they're okay. But unfortunately, the game ends 0-0. We don't score, they don't score. And it's just really frustrating when that happens. Obviously, we only had 2 shots. We could have probably done with a few more to get the win in that game. So, into the next game now against Bologna. We should be able to come back after a disappointing performance against Valencia and Palmo. We should be able to get a good 3 points in this game, and if we don't, then there's going to be serious questions asked to whether we should change the formation again, because we're just dropping points against teams we probably should be beating. So we're going to have to make a few changes anyway, due to the fact of fitness, the amount of games that we are playing currently. We do bring in Felipe Melo and Medel into the midfield, but here's their lineup. I think Munier Tadir is actually our player. It's a little bit unfortunate that players aren't like cup-tied, you know, when they play against their parent club. They can't play, like Cole Jenkinson against Arsenal, that kind of thing. So, yeah, we go into the 7th minute of the match here. Bibiani hitting the shot, getting the rebound. Mertens is there to put it into the back of the net, I believe. Or is it Accardi? I think it's Accardi, actually, to make it 1-0 with his wonderful attacking positioning and finishing. He's got like 88 in both of them, which is absolutely insane. Then we go into the 15th minute of the match here. Accardi again hits the shot, puts it into the bottom left-hand corner, doubles the lead, and nice to see us get a couple of goals right early on in this game, because away from home, if you don't get the goal early on, then it's a real struggle to try and get the goal, because on career mode especially, they tend to park the bus, and we do actually get a 3rd goal there. Hat-trick for Accardi, and that is the 2nd hat-trick of the season for our 2 Argentinian strikers. Obviously, Palacio, I think he got one against Fiorentina, and now Accardi's got one for himself, so that's good to see. Then we go into the 68th minute of the match here. Mertens, wonderful ball through for Jovetic. A little bit lucky, but a wonderful volley, to be fairly honest, from the Montenegrin to make it 4-0 in the game. And I believe that is how it does end. And, yeah, that's the performance we needed. We definitely needed to pick it up. Obviously, they're not going to be the best of teams, but neither are Palmo, and we managed to get a 0-0 in that game. So, looking at the table, we're in 4th. We've gone up a place. We're still quite a far away from the top position, so that's a little bit of a shame. But we are going to go into our final game of the episode against AS Roma, one of the best teams in the league. So again, like Juventus, if we could pick up the 3 points, then that would be absolutely tremendous. Unfortunately, Mertens is a bit low on fitness, so we're going to have to play Bojan against his former club. I think he was on loan at Roma while he was at Barcelona. I think he was on loan there and did quite well, to be fairly honest. So it's going to be an interesting one against his former club. So let's go into the game now. Have a look at the Roma lineup first. They got Dzeko, Salah, Nainggolan, Gervinho, Vaniquia, and De Rossi, Rudiger, Manolas, Florenzi, Ashley Cole, who's actually had his contract, terminated now. So, yeah, he's not actually at the club now. Same with Vidic. He's not actually at Inter, so I don't know what to do with that as well. So, 55th minute, Dzeko with the goal, with a wonderful strike into the back of the net. I was definitely looking at potentially bringing him on the career mode. Unfortunately, he's on loan at Roma. Same with Jovetic. In real life, he's on loan at Inter. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's how the game does end. Just a 1-0. We did actually get quite a few more shots off that game, but Szczesny and Manolas and Rudiger holding up quite tight in the defence. So, unfortunately, not the best way to end off this episode, but nevertheless, if you enjoyed this episode, it would be fantastic if we could smash over 30 likes. I'm really enjoying doing this career mode, and as we have done this episode where we played like 5 or 6 games, we should be able to get quite close to January. So if you want to leave a comment down below on any players we should sign, I probably feel like we should go for a striker. It's just who we go for. Maybe do a swap deal with Jovetic or Palacio and bring in someone better. That'll probably be good for the team. So if we could smash over 30 likes, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, and see you soon. Bye.